Greetings and welcome to the introduction to astronomy. In this week's Astronomy of Other Cultures, we continue our look at the Muslim astronomy, and we're going to talk about Habash al-Hasib and his contributions to astronomy and mathematics. So let's go ahead and get started. So what do we know about him? Well, we know that he died in the year 869 at the age of about 100. So it looks like he had lived to about 100 years old. And he did work in both mathematics and astronomy. So what did he do? Let's look at the mathematics first. And one of the things that he did in math was to work on trigonometry. So trigonometry is looking here in this case at some of the other functions. So sine and cosine were known at the time, but he developed and discovered the functions of tangent and cotangent, which would become very useful in various types of calculations of astronomy. And in fact, related to this on the astronomical side, he did compile several different astronomical tables. So developing various different tables and having to do the calculations there to figure out positionings of things like the planets over the course of time. He also discovered a relationship which we now know as Kepler's equation, but was actually known here well before Kepler, almost a millennium before Kepler, about 700 years or so before Kepler did his work. And that was now what is now known as Kepler's equation, but actually developed here by Habash al-Hasib. Now he also did some other work on the book of bodies and distances. Now this was a way of looking at the sizes and distances of things like the Earth, the moon, and the sun. So how far away are they? What are their specific distances and sizes? And those are things that are very difficult to measure. If we think about them, even from a modern standpoint, we have a little bit more of an advantage because we can use things like radar to figure out how far away the moon is. And we can use other methods to figure out things like sizes. So right now we know them very accurately. And while his measurements may not have been accurate by modern standards, they were actually pretty good considering the time and the fact that many of the distances that we have in astronomy are vastly larger than we would normally expect. So trying to even imagine some of those distances is difficult, but really trying to make some of these measurements was things that had been done earlier by the Greeks and now here by the Muslim astronomers that we're looking at, trying to measure those sizes and distances to figure out how far away these various objects are from Earth and their relative sizes. So those are a few of the things that he did that contributed to both mathematics and to astronomy. So let's go ahead and finish up with our summary here. And what we've looked at so far this time is we talked about Habash al-Hasib, and he is believed to have died around 869 at over 100 years old. In mathematics, he discovered the trigonometric functions we now know as the tangent and the cotangent. And he made estimations of the sizes and distances of objects like the Earth, moon, and sun. So that concludes this discussion on Habash al-Hasib and his contributions to astronomy. We'll be back again next week to talk about another astronomer of the Muslim world. So until then, have a great day, everyone. And I will see you in class.